Nearly 60 years of service to the Baton Rouge community. Phil's Oyster Bar. Remember, seafood is all over the menu. If you want to stop in today and get some of the seafood selections, we love the raw oysters, but some of the seafood specialties on the menu you can find online at philsoysterbar.com. They are open Monday through Thursday. They open up at 11 a.m. this morning until 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. They are open as well. Stop in and see them. philsoysterbar.com. And every time we talk to LSU head basketball coach Will Wade here on the Jordy Culotta Show, it is brought to you by Anthony and the crew over at Phil's. So stop in and see him. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I know that you were very busy, but I also know that you love the game of golf. Do you watch the Masters?
I watched a little bit of it. I got to watch some of it yesterday afternoon while I was making some recruiting calls. So it was good.
Yes, recruiting right now obviously is front and center for you as the bulk and nucleus of your offense, and your team has announced that they are foregoing their eligibility and heading to the next level. I think a lot of people anticipated that, Coach. What was some of the conversations that you had with your stars as they move on from Baton Rouge to the NBA and to the next level?
Well, we had known going into the season, that most of them, this would be most of them last season. And so we had been preparing for this and understanding that the transfer portal is going to change things a little bit. We wanted to obviously get some talented high school guys, which we feel great about the 3 guys that we signed, and Alex Bud has been on campus. And I think an SEC athlete is going to be a very good player for us. And, we feel great about those guys, and we also wanted to, we understand that we've got to supplement that with some experience. We just don't have a ton of experience, and so we're trying to supplement that with some experience from the transfer portal. We're being very, very careful and very, very organized with who we're looking at in the portal. We're not trying to cast a huge net. We're trying to lock in on who's done 5 or 6 Zooms with kids in the portal. We're not trying to Zoom with 60 kids. We've got a formula. We've got a grade sheet. We know exactly who's going to fit. We know exactly what's going to work. We know exactly what we're looking for. And so we're trying to really hone in on those guys that we know give us some experience, come from really good programs, come from winning programs. We're trying to really lock in on those guys and get a couple of those guys to supplement the really, really talented guys we already have. We've got some really good players in our program. We just played behind basically 4 all SEC players. Right. So they didn't get to do quite as much this season. But we've got really, really talented players, very, very good players. And we just need to supplement it with a little bit of experience.
How does the transfer portal and the numbers and the access to it now change the way that you do build your program and you recruit?
I mean, you've obviously got to save scholarships for the spring. Got to make sure that you got scholarships in the spring. You got to make sure that you got that you got some opportunity to get some guys, and you've got to be very, very smart with it. We're not going to bring anybody in from the portal that's not going to be pretty much in our mind the surefire SEC starter from day one. So we want to make sure that we're bringing in the right guys and bringing in guys that are going to be able to help us and contribute to winning from day one.
What are some of the things that you're looking for specifically when you look at high school recruits compared to transfer portal guys that you're bringing in? Is there any difference in qualifications that you're looking for?
Well, I mean, we're still recruiting some high school kids as well, but we need some experience. We've got some really, really talented high school kids. One of my assistants was telling me today, I think we've got 7 top 100 kids on our roster, and like 8 or 9 four-star kids on our roster right now. So we have some really, really good, really, really talented guys. And we can supplement that with another high school kid if we can find the right guy. But really, the transfer portal, we're looking to add, 2 or 3 guys from the portal. We obviously, I don't think it's any secret. I want to add some shot blocking and the defensive presence. We'd like to add that. We'd like to add some sort of combo guard and some sort of combo kind of score on wing if we could. But we definitely need to add a little bit of offensive pop out of the guard spots, and to add a defensive anchor from the big spot.
When you talk about the offseason, it seems like things are trending kind of towards the direction of normalcy, and people are looking towards the fall at maybe a full capacity Tiger Stadium. Do you look at your offseason as getting back on track with workouts and accessibility to your team? Are you planning like it in that regard, or are you looking at it the way that it's been functioning the last 12 months?
I think it'll certainly be modified a little bit from what it was, a year and a half ago. But I think it'll be a lot closer to that than really what we've been dealing with the last 12 months. So I think it'll be a mixture of both. I think we'll certainly have more access to our guys. We'll certainly be able to work out more with them and not have all of the restrictions on our guys and on the workouts. But I don't think it'll just be wide open either. You don't just go from 0 back to 100. You from 0 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100. But I do think by next fall and next season we should be as close to normal as possible.
I've seen Cam in mock drafts in the top 15. I haven't seen him outside of the top 20. And just reviewing the year with Cam Thomas that you had and some of the highlights and some of the moments, what do you anticipate his impact to be at the next level? And was coaching him, was it everything that you thought it was going to be while you were recruiting him?
Yeah, it was pretty, I tell you what, it was pretty incredible. I went, they wanted me to be a part of the process sitting in on his agent meetings. I went and sat in on his agent meetings up in Virginia last week for a day. And you kind of forget while you're involved, but when they're going through their presentations, the historic season that he had, while you're in the middle of it, you just really forget about it. And yeah, he averaged a bunch of points. You forget that, he got hurt 2 minutes into the game at Ole Miss, scored, I think, 2 points. And that was factored into his average. You take that out, he averaged an extra point a game. I mean, he just had an incredible season. They put his numbers up there historically compared to other SEC guys. And other SEC guys, and there's nobody that was really in his category from the free throw situation, both drawing fouls and making free throws and some of those things. But there was nobody that was drafted below 14 with his resume. So I certainly think he's going to be a very, very high draft pick. I think he has the potential to go in the top 10. And he's a tremendous player. He's unbelievably disciplined. And I think as we get further and further away from it, we'll look back and realize what a historic season it was for him.
What is your focus outside of recruiting this offseason? I know that you usually have tasks that you want to accomplish for your program when you have time away from them. What are some of the things that you want to highlight to bring into the program this offseason?
Well, I won't sound like a broken record. We got to get two things a little bit better. One, we've got to get our flow on offense a little bit better. We've got to be able to flow from primary to secondary into our half court offense a little bit more seamlessly. We've been a little bit raggedy in my opinion. So I want to get our flow better with our offense. There's just more seamless transitions, and then certainly we've got to correct our rebounding habits. Everything gets lost. Yeah, our defense won this, our defense won that. Riggs had a pretty good defensive team this year. When you go back and look at it, our issue was our rebounding. Our rebounding, our first shot defense was good enough to be 42nd in the country. The problem was our rebounding made us 120th in the country. Because when you give up offensive rebounds, you give up a bunch of fouls, you give up a bunch of shots close to the rim, you end up playing defense wrong. There's a lot of different things. So, we've got to spend some time working on that. We certainly want to fine tune a couple of things defensively. We really just did one thing this year. I want to be able to have two or three different iterations of what we did, different trapping and different things like that. So there's certainly some opportunity there for us to continue to improve defensively. And I do think we will be better just because we've got some more defensive-minded personnel.
From making the changes that you did last summer for the defense, did you like what you saw in year one? Did you like the growth that you saw in year one in the change of defensive principle and the change of identity on that side of the floor that you tried to incorporate and institute?
I mean, I thought it was okay. We need to be better, but I thought it was okay. But I thought schematically we had the right idea, and I thought schematically we started executing better late in the year. Everything would have. We sit here and talk defense all we want. If we'd have had a big guy that could block a shot, our defense would have been fine. We could beat Michigan because you could play the big kid Dickinson one-on-one. We had to commit 2 and 3 bodies to him to keep him from scoring at the rim. And so what we really need is we need a big guy that can protect the rim. And obviously with rim protection, you can rebound the ball better. We get that. We got to get that through recruiting and through development with some of the guys we've got. But if we get that, our whole outlook on defense changes. If you got an anchor that's back there at the rim and teams are shooting it at 6 feet instead of 2 feet and laying the ball in, and when you can gobble up some rebounds and other teams are getting offensive rebounds and putting in tough spots, when you can do that, you just have a much better opportunity to be successful. So it's really, schematically, I like what we did. I think we need to change a couple things, and we're going to work on that and have a couple different variations of what we did. But we've got to get an anchor back there that can block shots and make things happen.
Coach Wade, how's Sharif? What do you expect from him next season?
Sharif's doing great. I actually texted with him. He's been down working out with his father and getting his legs back under him. It was really frustrating year for him. Just think about somebody who came off a major surgery and then ended up having foot problems all year. He was never 100%, even when he was playing for us. He tried to gut it out and do the best he could. He was just never 100%. His body feels good. He feels good, and I think it'll be. I think he's going to be poised for a good season.
How much do you have to work on the schedule for next year? How much is it done, and how much work does it need?
It's pretty much done. I'm actually in the process of trying to change a game right now because somebody needs to change the game to get another tournament. But we're one game. We've got contracts out for all but one game, and I'm waiting to get those contracts back. And I've got 2 options for the last game, so it's pretty much set. It'll be a solid schedule for the team we've got.
How was your evaluation of your staff year one and these guys working together?
So it was good. I thought our guys had good chemistry. We were very professional and had good chemistry, good way about us, and thought that allowed us to really play better and play our best basketball down the stretch.
Trendon in the SEC tournament and that stretch that he was playing there, Coach. I didn't have a chance to talk to you publicly on his performance in the SEC title game and then into the tournament. What do you think he did for his stock at the next level, and what do you anticipate his impact at the professional level?
You talk about Trendon and his impact. I thought his leadership was great for us down the stretch. Obviously he took a huge scoring load on in that Alabama game and was able to score over Herb Jones and score over some mismatches in the SEC title game. That was his high level. And, I know we came up on the wrong end of it. His high level good a basketball game is you see. It's a tremendous game. But I thought Trendon, I thought he helped himself. This season. I thought he showed he can be a playmaker. He flipped his assist-to-turnover ratio and a positive assist-to-turnover ratio. I thought he showed he can be a playmaker. He played out of some ISO. He did a good job. Drawing fouls. His three-point shooting was improved. So I think he's poised to be a very good NBA player. And I think he'll play in the NBA for a long time. I think he'll have a 12, 15-year career in the NBA.
Boot up, man. Good to hear from you, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you for the time.
Thanks for having me on. Boot up.
Yes, sir.